All right, so you should have just discussed all 9 of your guiding questions with your shoulder partner. So now let's just kind of touch base on a few of these. Number 3 says, looking at lines 10 and 11, describe the language in these lines. Why might the author have chosen this kind of language? So remember, language and word choice is a part of the author's tone, and that's what we've really been hammering this week is tone, which is the author's attitude to his or her subject. Okay, I erased off the board. Hopefully you know it by now, and if not, I'm going to quiz you again and talk about it again next week. So hopefully you have something like it helps the reader understand Rachel, because these lines, we get to know Rachel better, and we want to know Rachel before we understand kind of her. We understand her before the situation with Mrs. Price. Let's see. And then we know from these lines that it's going to be a story from Rachel's point of view, and it's going to be in her own words. We see that this isn't formal language throughout this. She says things like, "That girl's stupid." If this was formal, we probably wouldn't hear things like that. Okay, number 5. So looking at number 5, lines 49 to 51. What are some of the character traits of Mrs. Price and Rachel? What specific words and phrases help reveal these traits? So you needed to have established a trait or two about them. I think for Rachel, you could have said she's timid, right? For Mrs. Price, you could have said she's kind of mean, but maybe like an authoritative figure, impatient, dismissive. And then after that, after you determine the trait, you have to show some words from those lines that determine that. So that's where your text evidence comes in. All right. Number 7, 8, and 9 we're going to look at too. Okay. So number 7, lines 78 to 84. What do the details in the paragraph add to the reader's understanding of Rachel? How do the details affect the tone of the paragraph? So shocker, there's one about tone. So these details in this part, this is the part where she has to put on the sweater. And so they're giving you sensory details, right? She says it smells like cottage cheese. Gross, right? Or old, because that sweater's been in there so maybe like old cottage cheese. Blech. Okay, she talks about putting it on and it being all these germs, right? So as you're reading that part, you feel what she's feeling because of the sensory details, okay? Let's see. And this clearly shows that Rachel is disgusted and she is miserable. She does not like this situation. She's not into it. She's like, right? Number 8. Lines 97 to 106, describe the tone of this passage. What text creates this tone? So again, you needed to choose a word or a phrase that describes the tone, but you also have to use text evidence that describes it, kids. This is so important to your educational career. So this part of the tone, I could argue, is as angry and a little sad. She says, "Stupid Phyllis Lopez," right? Even dumber than Sylvia, right? That conveys her feelings of being annoyed and mad and angry. Let's see. She says it's too late, right? And Mrs. Price kind of pushes it off like nothing, like she wasn't wrong and nothing even happened. So that could make you angry for sure. Okay, last question, number 9, lines 107 to 109. Where in the story did you read these lines before? Why does Cisneros repeat these words at these places in the story? And we kind of talked about this yesterday, but they emphasize Rachel's idea of birthdays, that they don't mean anything immediate. They don't give this immediate knowledge or maturity. But growing up is this long process, and sometimes you step back to this younger age, even if you don't want to. Remember, she says she feels the 3 in her eyes because she wants to cry. Okay, move on to analyzing the text, and I will see you guys later.